Tell me which way you want to go.
A hidden chamber under Oak Island was discovered, possibly a result of human intentional strategic planning. Emma Culligan, a team member, discovered a wooden board that didn't belong there and was uncovered by the US president. The board was not just old wood, but was a clue to something bigger than expected. The team knew better. Boards wouldn't just show up down there unless someone put them there. The board turned into two, possibly post-1980s, as it was missing modern concrete mix. The concrete was found to have Portland cement in it, likely from Quebec between the 1920s and the 1970s. This indicates that the concrete was not just any concrete, but rather a human intentional strategic plan. A curious wall of rocks was also found, lined up like someone had a blueprint and buried beneath it. Rick thought this might be the flood tunnel, and it aligned with old maps. After all the holes, cash, and even some blood spilled chasing ghosts, they might be onto something real. The structure is buried over 30 feet down, suggesting that it was built by someone spending weeks or months building something they wanted to keep away from. Emma laid out her findings, not flashy, but facts about the concrete being old. This discovery could lead to the closure of the island and the discovery of a hidden treasure pit. The Restall family, a group of people who were digging for a hidden treasure in Nova Scotia,
so-called flood tunnel booby trap system. Of course, we're going to investigate.
discovered a tunnel that seemed to be hidden for centuries. The sand and gravel matched local materials, suggesting that the creators knew the land and had the necessary tools. The timing of their discovery coincided with their attempts to seal off the flood tunnel back in the 1960s. The team was convinced they were close to figuring out the tunnel's location and that it was what they left behind after trying to plug up the ocean. However, the question of what they were trying to hide or protect and why everything went silent as they found the tunnel remains a mystery. Every clue, rock, and old piece of wood whispered the same message. There was something here that someone didn't want anyone else to find. As things got serious, concrete began to point to something bigger than anyone thought. The tunnel's existence was revealed when the pieces clicked, and the concrete was put there by human hands. The old maps line up, and nature can't fake this kind of coordination. The group's faces gave away a fire and a deep, quiet strength, and they weren't about to walk away. The question remains why they would dig deep into the earth, carve out tunnels, let water flood through them, and then make it even harder by throwing in traps and covering the tunnel with layers of beams, rocks, and cement. The only reason that makes sense is that something valuable was hidden, something that could hold something valuable, such as gold or jewels. People dream about this treasure for their whole lives. However,
I mean, if this is a tunnel, it's an aha moment.
Yeah.
Look, a tunnel here on the Ball Foundation.
the situation has taken a strange turn when the Restall family found one of the main tunnels, sealed it off, and left without digging further. Emma Culligan, a quiet individual, was determined to uncover the truth about the island of Japan. She discovered that someone left behind a path made of cement, not dirt, wood, or stone, which could lead to something deeper and darker than anyone expected. This led to the search for answers to why people have returned to this island for over 200 years. Emma's early years were spent in Japan, speaking Japanese before she even touched English. She switched languages at 15 and quickly adapted to the new field. She chose engineering as her field of study, but later transferred to Memorial University of Newfoundland, where she added archaeology to her mix. She worked as a research assistant in the archaeology department, handling real artifacts and applying real methods. Emma's time at Memorial was not about passing classes, but about learning by doing. She worked in Calgary at a zoo dealing with visitors in public, building her people's skills and patience. She then took an internship at the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal, where she learned the grind of working in the public sector. As a material technician at Amick Foster Wheeler, she pushed deeper into the technical world, testing materials, quality checks, and data.
Yeah.
If we find the flood tunnel, we follow.
If something was off, she had to catch it quickly. Emma's journey from Japan to buried gold highlights the importance of understanding both the science and history of the island's past. Emma, a talented engineer and archaeologist, joined the History Channel's popular show, The Curse of Oak Island, in Season 10. As an archaeometallurgist, she studied metal from ancient times and provided insights into its possible backstory. Emma worked with tools like X-ray fluorescence and X-ray diffraction to scan artifacts and help the team determine if they had found something rare or from another continent. One standout moment was when Emma analyzed a lead object and offered insight into its possible backstory. Her hard science approach made it feel like a story off camera, making viewers love her. Emma's big idea is to create a worldwide shared database of artifacts, allowing archaeologists and historians to input data from items they find, such as metals, pottery, or tools, and match them to others across the globe. Emma's personal life is quieter, but more connected to her mother, Shirley Hardin. Growing up in Japan shaped her language and how she sees the world.
What's really cool about it is in the XRV, I did get a Portlandite.
She moves through the world with curiosity and respect, picking up ideas and influences from every stop look. Emma's work on the show was not about chasing fame, but rather learning the ropes and doing the job well. The show came to her because she was good at what she did, and people saw her as the real deal. Her work wasn't scripted, but it mattered, pushing the team forward and helping the audience understand why old metal bits can tell a whole story about people long gone. As Emma assisted in making sense of what they discovered, it was still necessary to investigate the island's lengthy and peculiar history in further detail. Over the course of more than 200 years, people have been digging, speculating, imagining, and investigating the past of the island. From the time it was first established in 1795, Oak Island has been a source of both interest and mystery. It is a favorite destination for people who are looking for treasure. There was a peculiar depression in the ground that 3 teenagers found. They referred to it as the money pit, and they assumed that someone had gone to great lengths to conceal something precious. As a result of the story spreading like wildfire, the island became known as a highly sought-after location for treasure hunting. During the time that has passed, individuals have discovered peculiar items, such as a copper coin that dates back to the 1600s, a lead crucifix that could be even older, and minuscule pieces of old paper. There is a marsh that is fashioned like a triangle.
It means there is a money pit. Think of the laborious effort.
And there are stones that are shaped like a gigantic cross that is named Nolan's Cross. The terrain itself adds to the confusion. Furthermore, some have discovered coconut fibers there, which are not grown in Nova Scotia, which has added fuel to the flames of the story. Oak Island's curse, which states that 7 people must perish before the wealth can be discovered, has become an integral part of the island's overall experience, and it continues to arouse both fear and excitement among its inhabitants. Discovering unusual underground patterns, pipes, voids, and tunnels has been made possible by the advent of technology, which has led to the development of radar, sonar drilling machines, and other sophisticated equipment. However, there has not been a single glowing grail or a chest full of gold discovered as of yet. The ownership of the island has been another major source of contention, with some individuals asserting that certain areas of the island are playing a game of hot potato with a shovel. To make matters even more convoluted than the actual process of finding the wealth, the province of Nova Scotia has enacted a law that specifically addresses the rights of treasure hunters. As a result of the fact that television series and books have further muddled things, it is difficult to determine what is fact and what is simply a smart edit. Because of this, Oak Island remains in the public eye, and people continue to dig there in the hopes of discovering something significant. Whether the hidden chamber on Oak Island is nothing more than an old trap, or whether it finally shows that the treasure is real and has been buried for generations, is the dream that keeps Oak Island alive.